Okay, guys, welcome to this session. In this session, I'm going to show you Linux installation as part of the RAC configuration. 12C release to RAC installation. I'm going to install the Linux on our first machine. Let me see it. Yeah, here it is. So once you start the machine, we need to boot it. Click on up arrow. We need to select this one and enter. So Oracle Linux 7.8 is going to loading. Okay, guys, from this, you can select the language, any one of that language. If you want to go with English United or English India or Australia, anything, go with the default. Here, our mouse may not work. Okay, once you go inside, if you want to come out of this window, you need to press Control Alt Escape button. Then only the cursor will come out. That is the, until the installation is completed, that is the feature in this one. So here, already one cursor is there. If you press this cursor, it will go ahead and do this one. Okay, see what is happening. Okay, I got that one. Let me pause. Okay, let me go with continue. Click on the continue. English. Yeah, here installation summary. We need to check if any yellow mark is there. We need to check that one and then we can fix that one. If it is there, we will not get begin install option here. See, you can read it. Please complete the item marked with this icon before continuing to the next step. So we don't have any yellow marks here. Only we have here installation destination. Only this one. But we used to do date and time. You can select according to your region. Present we are belonging to in India. So I'm going to select this India. Click on OK. Even though it is not showing warning or yellow color, right? But it is up to us how we are going to handle. Our system time is Indian time. So you should have to select that only. If you are selecting US means there could be an issue with the time synchronization. Okay, that is the issue. Language, that's fine. Keyboard, that's fine. No need to touch. And software selection. This is also one important. For software selection, click on the server GUI, select everything. Generally, it is not required, but you can select everything. We are doing a demo kind of one, right? So no harm to do. Select everything. These are all the RPMs or packages. OS level, these packages will install. In future, if you want to do some kind of setups, if you want to do some kind of application installations, those will not fail out. Due to this packages is missing. Again, we need to install these packages, right? So better we can go ahead everything. All RPMs I have selected. Okay. Other things you don't need to select everything. Okay. Let's leave it as it is. Even though if you are not going to select, this will go with the basic minimal installation, minimum packages. But this is a good practice. Go with the server with the GUI, select everything. Wait for some time, 1 or 2 seconds or 10 seconds. This will cross check and then yellow mark will go. Just a few seconds. Or else if you want to go with another option, meanwhile, we can go ahead and do that as well. Okay. Checking the software, we have selected more RPMs, right? It is going to read it and it is going to set up in the background. Let it do it. Meanwhile, I'll go with check this one. Yeah, it is gone, right? It is selected. Earlier, it is a minimal versions or minimal software set. Now it is server with GUI. And installation source, local media, where you want to install local. We don't need to select anything that you can keep default. This is important. Installation destination is important and network and host. These two we need to touch. These two also you don't need to touch anything. Installation destination. For this, we want to create a mount points where we want to install our softwares, U01 mount point, U02 mount point, operating system software where it needs to be installed. for swap and root directories, root mount points, where it will come. We need to do the partitions. So I will configure the partition, or else if you are not going to do it automatically, that will do it. But if you are going to do it, we will do it as per our flexibility. Okay, so here if you want to create automatically, it will create it. LVM or standard partition, any one of that you can use it. If you want to go with standard partition, you can use it. But this is a network or operating system type. Create automatically. Yeah, it is created. With my 80 GB total space, it is created 4 mount points. Home, it is taking 23 GB. And swap, it took 8 GB. Swap, guys, how much RAM you are going to give? That much swap you need to give. Okay, my RAM is 8 GB plus. That's where my swap also 8 GB. But my RAM is 40 GB. Can I give swap 40 GB? No, not required. 16 to 20 GB max you can give. Even though RAM is more than 20 GB or 40 GB, you can give 16 or 20 GB swap is fine. But RAM is 8 GB. You need to give swap must and should 8 GB. RAM is 10 GB. You can give 10 GB swap. You should not give less than that. Okay, that is the one thing. And root 47 GB. And home, it took 23 GB. It is not required. I don't want that much of storage for home. Okay, what I can do, I can give 9 GB. And rest of the thing, it come to here. Availability is 14.33. Let me add that to 47, this one, right? 47 plus 14, 61. I'll give here 62. Let's see how it is going to take it. It will take from free up to how much it is going to do. That much only it is going to do. Still, I have given 62 GB for this group. Under this, I'm going to create my U01, U02 mount points for database and grid. 62 GB. That's okay. Okay. Still, I have a doubt. Can I use 9 GB for home? That's okay. Leave it. Let it be. Or else I'll make this one 61 GB. Here I'll make it 11 gig. How it is going to take, let's see. 10.1 GB free is there. That is took 10.1 GB my home. That's it. So this is up to us how we are going to make it, guys. Okay. No need to worry about these things. So 4 mount points I have created. Done. These are all the partitions which are going to happen after that. Accept changes. So installation destination now. Customize, custom partitioning selected. That is done. Software is also done. Network. This is important. I have enabled the 3 IPs, right? One is for public, another one is private. Those things. If you want to enable now, you can enable it. Or else, after you start the services, then also you can enable it. That is also possible. Let me try to do this. And here, this is our host name, the machine name. I want to give this machine name is RACS1. That local domain. See, as of now, my host name is localhost, but I change it to RACS1. Just apply it. Now my machine name is, my host name is RACS1.localdomain. Okay, that is my host name. Okay, if you want to enable these things, we can enable it right now also. But what is the issue? I don't think so. Let it be. We can add it later also. So I have given my host name here. That's it. Then we got this begin install option, right? Click on the begin install. And it is going to preparing the installation. Dev, SDA, SDAB, SD5, everything is going to create it. For root password, we need to set. Meanwhile, you can set for root password. See here, operating system admin user is root. We are not going to create the root user. We are going to set the password for root user. Okay, root user already created by default as part of that operating system. Okay, so create the user. Another is a demo user. If you want to create, you can create it. Okay, demo user, and the password I'm going to put it for the demo user. Done. So I have created the demo user and I have set the password for the root. So it is going to take almost 2005 packages is there. Why? Because we have selected the software, all options, right? That's where it took 2005 packages. If you selected minimal, packages, that is less than that. Okay, it may take 10 to 15 minutes. I'll pause it here. See, if I want to come out this cursor from this session, it is not coming out. See, I'm trying to do it. It is not coming out. What I need to do, I need to Control Alt Delete button, escape. Now my cursor is come out. Here one cursor is there. Okay, it is going to do it. Let me pause it here and then we'll get back. Our installation is completed. Now we need to reboot the machine. Okay, sometime it is going to. Let me reboot machine. Yeah. So our Linux installation is done, but we have a post steps. Post Linux installation, few steps, guest editions installations, network setup. Those things we need to do it. Let it restart. Now the cursor will work. Now onwards, we don't need to use Control Alt, those things. Control Alt Delete options. Now my cursor will work here. So once you are done with that, you can see licensing. We need to accept that one. Click it, accept, and done. Then network. If you want to set up the IPs and all, we can do that now. Or else you can click on the finish configuration. We have these IPs here, right? 101, 102, 10 things. I want to make changes over there later. Let me finish the configuration. I'll update the network setup later. Yeah, our machine is ready. Let me not listed. I want to connect it to root user. I don't want to connect it to demo user. Root user and enter the password. This is my brand new server, RACS lab. Okay, this is our thing. First, any user you connected, you will get these things. Click on default, next, 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 and skip. Start using our Linux server. That's it. And this one you can close it. Getting started, close it. Now we have a brand new server. So open new terminal, right click and open new terminal and go to devices. Okay, devices. Click on the device, install guest edition. Immediately we need to do this task. Install guest editions. Here, run this one. Click one more time, run. Our guest editions is going to install VirtualBox guest editions. After I install the guest editions, my cursor will come out of this. Still, it is not coming out. Okay, cursor movement is not coming out. Let it complete and it will come automatically. So these guest editions will help a lot of flexibility. VirtualBox related RPMs, VirtualBox related package it is going to install. That's where we need to install. Otherwise, we may not able to work properly. Let it complete. Once we got the completion, we will get a message, right? Close the terminal. If you saw that message, you can close the terminal, this one. Let's wait for some time. Generally, it will take within a minute or 2 minutes, but yeah, we'll see that. Meanwhile, what I can do, we need to change the IPs. I don't want to use that 101 and all. It's a kind of big IPs, right? Let me use different IPs. 101, 102, 103, 104. Even we can use, but yeah, see here. Please return to the close the window. See, my cursor come out now automatically. Earlier, I need to do Control Alt Delete. After I install the guest editions, my cursor is coming out of the VirtualBox. Okay, close this. Now we need to do the net immediately. We need to do the network setup, right? If config, we can see what are all the IPs it is going to run. These are all 3 interfaces which we configured. Okay, but IPs are not there here. 3 ENPS03 for our public IP. This is for our private IP. This is for internet access. So we don't have IP as of now. Why? Because I did not updated the network parameter. These are this ENP0 S3, we call it as the interfaces. Okay, these are all our locally local level interface and virtual interface. These things are default, but these 3 are our customized one. Whatever we have enabled in VirtualBox, I have enabled these 3, right? Host only adapter, internet adapter, bridged adapter. Those 3 is these things. So I need to keep the IP address for those 3. Let me prepare the IP addresses for my RAC node. Okay, 101, I can use it. There is no issue. Private IP, I can use 101.40, 41. 103 for virtual IP, 104, 105, 106, 107. That's okay. No problem. Mean this IP and all, how we are going to take it range, right? You can go to your computer, open the command prompt. Okay. Check IP config from your laptop, IP config. See here, you have connected with wireless LAN or Wi-Fi. See this communication. See 192.168.0.103. Whether you want to give your IP range from 192.168.0. something, and this is your DN, this gateway 192.168.0.1. You want to give this IP range or you want to give this IP range. Anything is fine. Better you can go with your system IP configuration 192.168.56 range. Or else you can go this also, no issues, anything is fine. That range I'm going to with 56.101.102. Okay, let me add this into our etc host. Let me add those into my etc host. vi slash, come on, etc slash host. Here we have default values. Let me press I button, end button, enter, right click. Oh, this is not copied. It is not copying. I have enabled the copy, but we need to do the reboot. That will work out. Okay, let me try. It is not working. Copy is not working now. I'll do one thing. Let me set up these IPs in my network and then we can do this. These are all the network IPs. Okay, here, if we can click it here, wide settings. This one for ENP0S3, public IP, private IP, internet one. Settings, connect automatically. IP address, keep it manual and give the IP address for public. This is our public IP 192.168.56 for node 1. 192.168.56.101. Net mask 255, that is default 255.255.0. Gateway, you can, if you want to mention 0.0.0 or else you can leave it as it is, no problem, no need to mention. If you want to mention the DNS 192.168.0.1, that is also okay. If you are not mentioning also okay, no problem. Stop, start, stop, start. That's it. And then public we have configured. Now private IP you are going to connect automatically. Why I am going to check it? After I rebooted my virtual machine, the network services will automatically started. If it is not enabled, no, you need to restart manually. Unnecessarily, why should we do that, right? IP. This is for private IP I'm going to configure. What is our private IP for node 1? 192.168.1.40. This 41 for node 2, another node. There we can give it. 192.168.0.40. See, the subnet or the subnet of the private IP and remaining virtual IP scan IPs. Here, my subnet is 56 for public IP, virtual IP 56. I'm giving this range, but virtual IP I have given different subnet. That should be there. That should not be same of your public, virtual and scan IPs. That is a network level setup. We don't have any comments on it. We need to keep different subnet for your private IP. It should not be the same as your public or virtual or scan IP. Scan, virtual scan in one subnet, private IP in different subnet. That's it. So this is our private IP. One, right? Why I'm giving one. This is right. Be careful when we are going to provide the IPs 192.168.1.40, 255.255.0. That's fine. Now I'm going to apply it. So I have configured my public IP, start and stop and stop. Now this is internet one. If you want to give the IP, you can give it, or else just give this and apply. Then start it. Automatically it will pick one IP. Automatically that will pick one IP. I'll show you that. Okay, later I'll show you that IP from if config. So this is our network setup. I have given configure the IPs. Let it be. I'm not going to update my this thing. Done. Now see here, if config I did it right. If config, there is no IP for this. Let me type one more time. If config. Now we can see the IPs whatever for the broadcast, whichever we have enabled for internet connection, that IP is not there, but yeah, it will come up later also. This is not that much of importance for us. Okay. These two are the important. This interface for public, whether my public IP is correct or not. 192.168.56.101. 190.168.56.101. Right. And what this is my private IP. 192.168.1.40. Right. These two are for my node 1. This IP I can use for my node 2. Okay. Node 2 we are yet to configure. That is done. Now I have updated the network thing, right? What we can do? We can quick restart our machine, reboot our machine, and then we can do M update also. Okay. Init 6 for restart, stop and start of your machine. Do the init.6. Do init 6. Bounce the OS operating system. Bounce means stop and start. So that is done. This one is additional steps. Oh, we came to this location, right? That's okay. We'll go up and we can do remaining things now. Guest editions we have installed. These commands are optional things. Step 4, prerequisites. We need to install all these things. Okay, database prerequisite and update your M repository. And we have few more RPMs which are related to ASM and which are related to the cluster. Those RPMs also we need to install. I should have somewhere, I'll get it. I should have somewhere, I'll get it for you guys. Yeah, here it is. These are all the important RPMs. Okay, this is for 19C pre-install, but what we are going to do is we are doing 12C. So these three are the another important RPMs or packages. Okay, that is fine. Okay, let it start. Yeah, it is started. Root is my user. Password is that. It is configured. Let me try to copy these things, whether it will work or not. vi/etc host, insert, end, enter. Let me try to copy. etc host file. This one you can copy. RACSINFOTECH, that's okay. It's a big name, but yeah, we can manage it. Yeah, now its paste is working. Done. So these are my public, private, and virtual IPs, CAN IPs. I have configured those in my etc host. And what are all the things we need to do quickly? Here I have, right? I have to update this one. sysctl configuration and this Linux one. sysctl, I don't think so. It is not required, but this one is important. SC Linux, we need to disable it. This is OS, one of the prerequisite. Let me do that. By default, that is enforcing. We need to disable it. That's it. It's a kind of security one. It is going to stop your configurations and other things. Why? Because we required complete admin kind of access. It should not stop while you are going to do it. DNS, we are going to do it. What I can say, customized steps, we are going to do it. Disabled, ABLED. That's it. From enforcing to disable, we are making. That is one step. That's it. And etc sysctl, what is having? Let me check. I don't think so. It is having anything. Leave it as it is. Once we are updating the M, that will take care of remaining things. Okay. Then what else I want to do? etc hosts. If I want to connect to this IP outside of this virtual machine from my this session, if I connect it, let me try to connect that machine from my local putty or mobile extern. See here, I'm trying to connect to that IP outside of my virtual machine. Yes, I'm able to connect it. The same RACS1 machine, it is inside of my virtual box. Now I connected outside of this virtual box. When I connected, I have added these entries into my etc host, then only it will allow. Okay, clear. Now we can do it quickly, copy paste and other things we can do it easily, right, from here. Okay. Disable is done, etc host we done, and we can install these RPMs fastly. 12C RPM, right? We need to install RPM. This one we can install. Before that, whether your update M is updated properly or not, that also required. Let me install the pre-install, like this package M install Oracle Database Server 12c related one. I'm going to install that. Let me close all the sessions. These are not required. Yeah, RPM is installed successfully. Okay, this 12c RPM installed successfully. That will create a user, Oracle user automatically, this 12c RPM. Earlier, we need to create a user and we need to add groups and other things, but here it is not required. Okay, this will create the Oracle user, but only we need to create a grid user. That's it. Oracle user is not required to create. Then we can use Oracle ASM support. This is for Oracle ASM library. Okay, if you want to configure ASM disk groups and other things, this library is required. And other thing is binds. This is also required for your cluster related softwares, M install bind software. Okay, that is also required. Yeah, that is also completed. Now, cluster related, what are all the things it is required? It is going to download and install that one. Cluster verify and cluster the filter or some other libraries. Okay, that RPM. These 4 RPMs are very, very important. And apart from this, we have some other RPMs also we can install as and when it is required. So this step is completed. So sysctl configuration, see here now, after I have installed the prerequisite of the database one, now you can see these values we need to modify actually. SSH max, kernel max value, kernel small. This is a minimum value, this is a maximum value. But we don't need to modify now. Okay. After you install the pre-install, see here, Oracle Database 12c release 2, it is going to modify it automatically. If you install the pre-install, Oracle Database pre-install RPM, that will modify this. So we no need to install any kernel parameters, kernel max and kernel small. See here, if you want to modify, you can keep this, copy paste it. Okay, no need. It's a minimum is 4096 will be there. But after I have installed, it is changed to longer value, big value only. And this is also max, also very big value. See SSH mal 107 something and max is 43980 something. See here, it is already set up. No need to modify. If this value is not there, we need to update manually. Okay, then what is happening? Sysbin. Okay, after you added that value, we need to bounce that services, but it is not required. Okay, we did not made any changes manually. Okay, this is the configuration of etc configuration, max values and all. For this also, this value limits.d value also, soft pass and no proc. These are all the what I can say, operating system level memory configurations. These values are set it up automatically as part of your this one database installation RPM. This will take care. It will create one Oracle user. It will update the sysctl config parameter. It will update your limits.d parameter. So we no need to do all these things. If you are not going to do this step, we need to do manually all these things. We need to update it here. We need to update it here. That is the only different. That's where I mentioned automatic setup or manual setup of the kernel steps. Okay, kernel setups. Kernel setup, we did automatic. How we are going to do automatic? To install the RPM, pre-install RPM, that will do all those things. That's it. That is the difference. And step 6, created directory structures and OS users groups. Oracle user, we no need to create it. We already have. We need to create the grid user. Let me create the grid user. Okay, let me use instead of Oracle, let it be, I can use. Okay, this ID we can change it. Okay, let me check the ID for existing user, Oracle user ID. Oracle user 54321. 54322. 54324, that's fine. Let me give 431 for my grid user. I'm going to give grid user. And the groups, O install group is there, DBA OPER groups is there. If you want to assign remaining groups, O install, DBA, OPER, DBA is there or not? DBA is there. I'm going to add remaining groups also. What are all the groups is there? Backup DBA group. I'm going to add that also. DG group, that also I'm going to add it. Is KBM RAC DBA. And in a cluster, right, we will get one more error. ASMDG related some groups. Okay. For that, I want to check the users. Yeah. These users are required. ASM admin, ASM DB, ASM Oper. Our rack also going to fail out. For that, I want to add this also. If you want to create these groups, you can create in this way. Let me create a groups also, ASM groups. We need to check the 5321, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 is free. 30, 30, 30, 30 is there. Let me take off this. Okay. I'll make it here. Yeah, this is also fine, right? We have already those names it here. These groups already we have, right? We already have backup DBA there, DG is there, KM DBA is there. This ASM1 is not there. This we can remove. ASM RAC DBA also we have. We don't have this group. 27, 28, 29 is free is there. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. These three I can create it. Let me create these three groups. I have created these three groups. Now I need to add these three groups to Oracle user and grid user. Okay, ASM DBA. I think this is fine. No need to. This will throw an error, but okay, that already fine. Let me check Oracle. That is not added, right? Let me add only specific groups. User add and group add one. User add -G. Like this, we need to give ID grid, ID Oracle. Groups created, users I need to mention this. Why I am not going to get those things? Let me give grid. Okay, for grid I can use 3.1, right? I use it 3.1. Go grid, shift home. Let me create with that. Yeah, for grid I have added everything. For Oracle user, let me give RAC DBA is there. Okay, RAC DBA is there. No need. ASM is not there. ASM Oper is there. Remaining things is there. Let me remove all of these things. Oracle is already there. How I can provide this specific? Okay, use this one. This is 21, not the another thing. ID Oracle. Okay, we'll see that. But as of now, for Oracle database, I don't think so. We may not get that error. Why? Because for AS grid user, it is required. ID grid. Grid user, we required ASM Oper, ASM DB, and ASM admin. Why? Because when you are going to install the grid, that run cluster verify will fail out for this. Okay, this is required. That's okay. Remaining things, I'm going to clear it out. Those are not required. No need to keep all those things, unnecessary things. Different things, not required. This also not required. ASMDB, this is fine. Open, all these things are not required. Okay. How we are going to create the groups? We can use this command. User add for grid. We already have the related things. That's fine. Here also you can use these things. I can remove this thing also. Simple commands. We don't need to make so many things to confuse and other things, right? No need of all those things. Keep it simple and make it easy. That's it. Let it, I'll store it later. Okay, 5 step is completed. 6 step, create a directories. Directories pending, users and groups is completed. Let me create the directories. I should have somewhere else. Yeah, these are all the directories. Okay, make the directories. U02 12.2. I don't want to go with this much of length. 12.2 is fine. This is also removing. U02 app grid. U02 app. U01. Okay. I can use install for that grid. Okay. Let me use these things. Created the directories and privileges. Done. I have created the U02. This is for my grid. Okay. There is no files. Once we downloaded softwares, we can unzip it in this location. This is my Oracle form. And one more thing I required for the base. Okay. Base I can use U02. Here I can create mkdir. What I can give is Vara install thing. Okay, mkdir, let me take that. Vara inventory, I'm going to create it under U02. Okay. U02 app. I'm going to create Vara inventory. This is also one thing it is required. Vara inventory for storing all the changes which are happening to your server level. Okay, let me execute all these things one more time. That is fine. So I have created the directories for our software. Done. Profiles and all I'm not going to create now. Okay, leave that part now. As of now, you can forget about it. Directories is done. Next step. Firewall, we need to stop it. It's very, it is required also. Okay, firewall, stop it. Stop the firewall and disable the firewall. Done. This going to stop your firewall and it is going to disable the firewall. NTP, enable and then restarted the NTP services. Okay, these two are the NTP things. And run this one. It should throws 200. If it is throws 200 means okay. And 200. Then it is succeeded. No need to look into. Now we need to do the DNS configuration. Okay, DNS configuration. This part we can check it later. Okay, as of now I can stop it here. Then the DNS configuration and cluster installations. Next steps we can see it in our next video. Thank you.